It is time for bowling's biggest event, the season-ending PBA World Championship. We crown the king of the lanes today. The band is ready to rock. Our four finalists are ready to roll. From Lockport, New York, first in the PBA World Rankings, making his fifth telecast of this season. Today, looking for his first career win, Angelo.
Go! Thank you, buddy.
Let's go ball himself into an exempt spot next year's Elite Field. Also from Buffalo, New York, Tom Baker. From Austin, Texas, making his TV debut today. He tries to become the 14th bowler to win his first title in a major. Wes Malott. His four career titles include two majors. In December, he became 16th. Having a great year, the local favorite from nearby Ann, Michigan, and top man in Finland, Mika Koivuniemi. We are coming here from Ypsilanti, Michigan, a huge crowd. The EMU Convocation Center, ready to watch PBA history unfold. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Randy, here are the matchups.
In semifinal number one, upstate New York is well represented as Brad Angelo takes on Tom Baker. Semifinal number two, Wes Malott looks to continue his magical week as he takes on Mika Koivuniemi, who makes his 7th show of this season.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Ypsilanti, Michigan. So glad you could join us for our season-ending event, the PBA World Championship, most important bowling tournament of our season. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson with our entire crew. Randy, bowlers like you had the goal of making top 8 in points throughout the year. That puts you into the round of Super 16 at the PBA World Championship. Half of the field here in Ypsilanti did that today, making their path to TV much easier.
Yeah, it sure did. It worked out great for Mika Koivuniemi and Brad Angelo, who only had to get through 2 matches. They bowled a combined 15 games for the week. Not the story for Tom Baker and Wes Malott. They bowled 30 games of qualifying. They had to get through 4 rounds of match play. They bowled a combined 97 games. What's on the line today, Dave Ryan? $120,000 for first, a 5-year tour exemption, and a place in PBA history.
And speaking of history, a dramatic storyline, folks, is unfolding today here with roommates, PBA road roommates, and Brad Angelo and Tom Baker, best friends, both from Buffalo, bowling each other in the first semifinal.
49-year-old Tom Baker has never won a major championship on the tour in 28 years. He's taking on his best friend, Brad Angelo, and it's going to, I promise you, it'll be a truly emotional match. In the second semifinal, Mika Koivuniemi, if he were to win today, he's going to lock up Player of the Year honors. He's taking on Wes Malott. And Wes somehow has to manage his nerves today because this is his first ever TV show. 4 bowlers, 4 great stories.
And a tremendous amount on the line for these bowlers today. Oil pattern, modified oil pattern D, 41 feet. Not conducive to big scoring, only 1 300 game all week.
Tough scoring pattern because the 41 feet made the lanes play really tight. You're going to see Mika do what he does best, play straight in the track because the outside part of the lane is real slick. The other 3 players that hook it more, they're going to be playing left of Mika and gradually moving towards the center of the lane as the lanes break down. But big time emphasis on shot making and speed control today.
It has been an emotional week, Randy, for Tom Baker, who entered this week not being exempt for next season, not having a job. He's got there already. Now he's trying to win his first ever major championship here at the PBA World Championship in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And who is his opponent? None other than his very best friend and road roommate on the PBA Tour, Brad Angelo. These 2 bowlers head-to-head next from Michigan. ESPN's live coverage of the PBA World Championship from Eastern Michigan University is brought to you by the official candy bar of the PBA, Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal. By Dexter Bowling Golf and Casual, we have the right shoe for you. And by Uniroyal, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal tire is trusted by American families since 1892. That is Pierce Hall, EMU Student Service Building, constructed in 1948. We are inside EMU's Convocation Center in Ypsilanti. A huge crowd to watch the most important event of our PBA Tour season. How did these 2 bowlers get this far? Let's find out. After marching through qualifying, Tom Baker's reward was a match with U.S. Open champ Pete Weber. That match will go the full 5 games with Baker moving on 3-2. Tom wasted no time in the round of 8, though. He swept Brian Smith 3 games to none and marched right into today's TV show. In the round of Super 16, points leader Brad Angelo took on Tim Penner. Angelo would need all 5 games to beat him 3-2. Penner had a chance to wrap it up in Game 4, but left a split. Angelo took advantage. On to the round of 8, where Angelo met 3-time winner this year, Steve Jarris. Angelo wasted no time last night, sweeping Jarris 3 games to none, and was shown some love by roommate Tom Baker. Holly joined by them both now.
Well, guys, it's intriguing. These two are best friends. They have been on the road as roommates for 2 years. Brad, what are the emotions like this morning bowling against your buddy?
Oh, you know what? It couldn't have been a better script. We had talked about it earlier in the week, and if it would have worked out to where we could bowl for the title, that would have made it all the sweeter. But you know, hats off to Biggs. He really showed a lot of heart this week to be able to get to the exempt field. So congratulations, bud.
How do you put the friendship aside and compete for a world championship?
He's my roommate. I wouldn't know that. Today's a different day. I don't know what he's doing today, but he's a great friend, and he's been a great support for me going through some rough times this year. Thanks, Brad, for the help. And right now, we're not really roommates because let's get it on.
All right, sounds good. Dave?
It's all about the competition now, Holly. Thank you. Prize money on the line for one of our 4 bowlers today, $120,000. Out of the $438,000 purse, the largest on the PBA Tour this season. And perhaps as important, maybe more, the 5-year exemption ready for the winner today.
For a guy like Tommy Baker, that would take him to age 55 and basically to his retirement party.
Brad joked with us today before the match. That means Tom Baker might need to be ironed out. He'd be so wrinkled at that point. They are good buddies. And run away.
Yeah! Come on!
Finesse bowler is Tom Baker. In the interview a moment ago with Holly, they mentioned they are best of friends, have never met head-to-head on tour in small regional events in Western New York, but as Brad told us this morning, never actually on the big tour, the major league of bowling. It happens today, and what a stage for this dramatic matchup. Each striking first ball of the semifinal match, leading us to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
Pretty tight matchup here. It's a game higher average for Tom Baker. In my opinion, what Tom Baker needs to do to win this match is he needs to get out to a quick start. Brad Angelo known for striking a lot.
Has had some trouble on TV. Look at the year he's had with the 5 TV shows. Did make 1 final. PBA Reno event. Lost to Mika. Trying to get on track on TV here. In Ypsilanti, getting help 7-pin trip late.
Yes, baby!
What a fantastic start. Exactly what Brad Angelo is looking for. You see that rangefinder down there. That dark brown strip is the 10th board on the right side. Brad Angelo's ball just a pinch right of that. That soft speed and rotation creates a lot of back end on any pattern he bowls on.
Tom Baker loves events originating at Taylor Lanes, Taylor, Michigan. About half an hour from where we are here.
Come on, Curry! Yeah!
And carry it will, Tom Baker. With that soft touch. Much different style than many of the bowlers we see.
A pure stroker. He's been his entire career. Tommy's learned a few tricks from Brad Angelo this year. We'll talk about later in the telecast when we do our Dexter approach. As you see, the road to the finals for Tom Baker. And I can't tell you how much pressure was on him through qualifying and match play just earn his tour card, much less make the telecast and try to win a world championship.
Here's another ball. Tom Baker, a great start. Folks, we can't emphasize the pressure and drama that Tom Baker went through over the past couple days here in Michigan. He needed victories to get himself exempt for next year. Digging deep, down a game in the round of 32, needed somehow Tom Baker came through, and he's still going.
He came through all week. He needed 2 wins against Pete Weber in the round of 16. He won the first game. In the second game, he doubles in the 10th frame to earn his tour card.
Angelo stays perfect. What a start for these PBA road roommates, and as we've seen, best friends. The PBA's online store now open for business at www.pba.com. Officially licensed PBA merchandise and apparel, including hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, polo shirts, posters, and much, much more now just a mouse click away. So click on pba.com today, place your order, and continue checking pba.com during the off-season for all the latest information on the PBA Tour, including the tour trial information that we will get you fully updated on. It's coming up in June. For all the bowlers who fell a little bit short of making the top 50 in points or winning this year, Angelo hasn't won ever, but he has a great season. Number 1 in points on the PBA Tour and exempt for next year already.
Yes, baby. Get up. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
These two are on fire in the sport's biggest stage.
The one thing I love about Brett Angelo's game is that his follow-through goes right at the target. The direction he wants to throw it in is that ball is high flush perfect.
Baker bids for the front 4. Perfect.
Come on.
Shreds the rack again, only as Tom Baker can with a finesse style. How much on the line here today? Mika Koivuniemi, we'll see later in our show. One of the semifinalists is right behind him. He is in the 3rd spot, but only 12,000 plus points back. It's possible that Mika could surpass Brad Angelo, average lead, points lead, win the PBA World Championship, and run away with Player of the Year honors, if he can do all that.
A lot of work for left for Mika to do, but I guarantee if he wins this tournament, I mean, how could you not vote for him?
Wow, Baker stays perfect. Can you believe
show? We putting on a show or what?
Looking good.
Yeah, fellas, you are putting on a great show.
What time is it?
You know, these guys are making it look easy, but let me tell you something. The kind of pressure that's out there right now for this major championship, all that money, the 5-year exemption, these guys are perfect through 5 frames. You have no idea what it's like unless you're a professional athlete where you can get the type of mindset it takes to get your body to perform under this type of pressure.
5th TV show of this season for Angelo with that deliberate delivery. And again, all 10 down. PBA Reno Championship. He lost to Mika Koivuniemi after beating Paul Fleming. Getting here for Angelo because he was top 8, as we mentioned, into the round of Super 16. We had a brief trip.
Not only top 8, how about number 1 on the point list? Penner gave him a scare in their match, and in fact, everybody in the round of 8, all the matches were 3 and out. They were all swept.
Folks, those numbers don't lie. We have a perfect score going for not 1 but 2 bowlers. And a chance for 300 games for each. With this modified pattern D, 41 feet, penalizing those going too far on the outside, the outer boards. Only 1 300 game, that from Kevin Mitchell earlier on.
If you get 4 players on 1 pair of lanes practicing in the same zone, the same spot, even on a tough lane condition, the players can break the lanes down and create a little bit of room on the lane for themselves. And evidently that's what's happened.
Perfect streak in.
Dang it.
Although he does avoid a deadly split. That's the good news. 2-4 standing.
Let's see. You see the brown pin? He just got it too far to the right. That strip at 10, you could see his ball was about 2 boards right of that. And the only other thing that's going to get his ball to hang is if he throws it too fast. He avoids a real ugly 2-4, 8-10 split, only leaving the 2-4.
Is it difficult to come down from the high of almost having a 300 game on TV for Brad Angelo right now?
Well, I don't think they were far enough along to start thinking about 300. I mean, if he was in the 8th or 9th frame and he was perfect, that's different.
All right. He does get his mark. An open frame for Brad Angelo, down by 2 pins to his best friend and low roommate of the PBA Tour, Tom Baker, who nearly didn't make the PBA Tour exempt list next year, but he's done that. And now he's got a perfect game going. And the sport's biggest stage, the World Championship. It's all coming up next. The 1982 National Championship from Toledo, Ohio was an important day in PBA history. The legend Earl Anthony would win his 5th national championship. That day he took care of Charlie Tapp, and in doing so became the very first PBA player ever to break the $1 million mark in career earnings.
He's the winner. Look at his reaction. You will seldom see that. He is over the $1 million mark.
The very next year, 1983, Earl would go on to win the national championship for an unprecedented 6th time. Who makes history today at Eastern Michigan University with a very enthusiastic crowd on hand. We welcome you back to the MU Convocation Center for the World Championship. It is said you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, Tom Baker disagrees. Brad Angelo helps illustrate that point. Randy explains in this week's Dexter Approach.
There's a reason why Brad Angelo led the Tour's point list this year. I'm going to show you why. Modified 4-step approach. He takes that first step and then he pauses and hesitates, and that's his timing step. Now watch this. Look at that hand open. What that does is it keeps his hand and his elbow the inside part of the ball so he can create that side roll, or we call it the voodoo roll on tour. Tom Baker's made some changes. He used to start with his arm straight out and his hand underneath. But look at his hand on the side. Everything else pretty much the same. But watch this. Notice how his hand's to the inside, not quite as much as Brad Angelo's, but look at that ball roll, almost identical. And look how well it's worked this week. Tommy Baker needing a miracle to get himself in the top 50 for the All-Exempt Tour for next year. Just kept winning match after match after match. The players were behind him. The crowd was behind him. The fans were behind him. We all knew what he needed to do. Tommy knew what he needed to do. And at 49 years of age, it's just truly amazing what he's done.
Trying to stay perfect. Front 6. Another one for Tom Baker.
Spectacular. Let me tell you something. When you get old and you get, long in the tooth, so to speak, it's hard to keep your nerves intact. When you're a young guy, you just don't know any better, so you don't get nervous. Tommy Baker is just pure in it.
If you're thinking 300, he does have 38 career perfect games, including one this year in Tucson last month.
Let's not forget that Cambridge Credit Counseling will give a bonus of $10,000 for the first player on TV to start a match with 9 in a row. If that player goes on to bowl 300, the bonus is increased for a total of $20,000.
Looks for 7 straight and a 2-pin. A good run for Tom Baker, and the fans appreciate that.
There's a biscuit on that one.
The same lane that Brad Angelo went light on, just looks like Tommy Baker missed it a pinch at the bottom and got it a hair right.
First ever TV head-to-head. Baker, Angelo. In fact, Tom has never matched up with any of the 3 other finalists today on television.
Much biscuit on that one. Woo.
Now he's got a rebound. He does cover for a mark, as Angelo did after his first non-strike ball.
Dave, I think it's an advantage for Tommy to be bowling his roommate, because I think he's about as loose as he could possibly be right now. You see him talking to Brad, they're carrying on a conversation, and I think that's working for Tommy. It's an advantage for him, keeping him nice and loose.
What do you got?
That comes in high. Brad Angelo wants to thank his mom, Nancy, back home, taking care of the 2 kids. That has enabled Michelle to come travel and watch Brad in person here in the greater Detroit area. Dylan is 3 years old. He'll turn 3 in April. Brielle turns 1 in May. So the Angelo kids were sure watching in Western New York today. In fact, all that part of Upper New York State has got to be really focused in.
Spare there.
Covers nicely. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN has a potential playoff preview. Yao Ming and Steve Francis lead the Rockets against Chris Webber and the Sacramento Kings. Rockets Kings also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today. The NBA and ESPN tonight, 7:30 Eastern time. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Great matchup here. First of the two semifinals. Road roommates, best friends, a 14-pin differential.
And if Brad Angelo doesn't strike on this ball, you're not going to see a whole lot of talking going on for the remainder of the match. Look out.
Just avoids the deadly 7-10. Number 10 stays up for Brad Angelo.
Almost leaves a pocket 7-10, and at this juncture it would have been devastating. Gets the 7 out, leaves himself single pin spare. If he converts, he will be trailing by 15.
Been perfect so far. All week long at Taylor. Other bowlers competing there at Taylor Lanes here. Just the Convocation Center for Brad Angelo. Not the case for Tom Baker, who had to bowl at his favorite house, he told us. Taylor Lanes.
He's made 5 shows at Taylor Lanes. That's where all the qualifying portion was done. This event, with the exception of 2 rounds of match play, the Super 16 and the round of 8 here. Eastern Michigan University. Look out.
Yeah!
Look out for that bus.
Come on now.
Looked like he got around this one a pinch. You see that elbow fly a little bit, but you know what? It was the right spot down the lane. Tommy Baker can take a 25-pin lead with a strike in the 9th frame, and most importantly, setting up the big 10th frame finish. Brad Angelo still has 254 possibility.
Carry, yeah!
Unbelievable day, Brian. He bowled great all week. You just wondered how much he had left in the tank, and this guy is relentless. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. That's why he's won 9 times, and that's why he's been on this tour for 28 years. And look at the big house reaction.
Great crowd here at the MU Convocation Center in Ypsilanti, Eastern Michigan campus. Back to his roommate and best friend. He just didn't like it off the release, almost crossing over there. Turned away in disgust as the 6-pin stands for Brad Angelo.
This ball is left of the spot. He knew it immediately. Look at there it is right there. Left of that spot all the way. Brad knew it, didn't have a chance to lay off.
Only saving grace there would have been a Brooklyn strike. In addition to the folks watching in Buffalo, there's a large contingent of Brad's family watching right now in Southern California. Michelle and Brad, had Brad not made the round of Super 16 and gotten this far, we're going to go to Southern California for a big family reunion. Had to cancel out on that trip. Priorities are here, trying to stay hot.
See, it found the spot perfect that time. That ball's dead flush. And right now, the thing that Brad Angelo should be thinking about is doubling in the 10th and forcing Tom Baker to show up. Even though Tommy Baker's going at a 240 pace, we've seen stranger things happen this year on the tour. Brad Angelo strikes out 243. Tommy Baker's in the 250s now. He would need 7-2 to win the game.
Here are the max numbers, bottom left. Pressure shot. He delivers.
Every shot that struck for him found the spot perfectly down the lane.
Amazing to think the year that Angelo has had, but still on TV, not the big success he would have liked.
An interesting note here. Brad Angelo will give him a strike on his fill shot. Tom Baker needs 7-2. A lot of players would take their spare ball and throw it really hard and really straight at the head pin. Tom Baker doesn't throw it really hard. Anything can happen.
All right, buddy, come on.
Brad told us before the match today he was going to root for his roommate and buddy. Of course, if he does fall by the wayside here. 9 to win here. And a spot in the finals. Chance to play for history and become a world champion. Can Tom Baker do it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Keep that in. Yeah. That's sweet, brother.
Go get it, Dan. Go get it now, all right? Finish it off.
All right?
All right.
Brother.
Whoa! Way to go. Yeah.
One of the good buddies had to go down in the first round. That's the only shame of it all. So Brad Angelo goes from player to spectator to watch Tom Baker try to win a world championship. We're coming here from the EMU Convocation Center, Ypsilanti, Michigan, not far from Detroit. It's our season-ending, biggest event of our year. World Championship. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Holly Rowe, laneside, our entire ESPN crew. Bring you live coverage of the final major of our season. And Tom Baker has wrapped up this semifinal match. That's a little high, but it won't matter. He is into the finals against either Mika Koivuniemi or Wes Malott.
I need to throw it a little better in the clutch, though, huh?
Buffalo is well represented here.
Yeah.
What an emotional week it's been for Tom Baker. He is through. Now to the finals and a chance to win his first ever major after competing for 28 years on tour. And can he do it? We'll find out down the road. Exit Clove is playing for us here at the EMU Convocation Center in Ypsilanti. Fine band from Washington, D.C., our house band today here in Michigan. Randy, certainly it's been an emotional year for so many bowlers trying to earn exempt status, and you yourself had one last shot here in Ypsilanti and couldn't quite make it. So now the tour trials come up this summer. What are your plans as things go on?
Well, my plans are obviously, I'm going to go to tour trials, and if I don't make it through tour trials, I'll try to bowl PTQs. But I got to tell you, obviously very, very happy for Tom Baker. Richie Wolf had a phenomenal week to get himself in, and unfortunately we couldn't have all been that fortunate. And a lot of my fallen brothers are out there. Del Ballard Jr. Shooing for Hall of Fame, 4 majors to his credit. Jeff Lizzie, his brother-in-law. My roommate on tour, Dave Traber, myself. It's been a really, really tough year, but it's not the end of the world. There is still the tour trials, and I know that those 3 players that I mentioned and myself will be there battling for 8 more spots.
Holly Rowe is joined now laneside by Steve Hoskins, another one of the bowlers like Randy who unfortunately did not make the exempt field for next year. And during the interview, we'll run all players who are in and those major players who also did not make the list for next year. Holly?
Thanks very much, Dave. And Steve, you came into this weekend needing to bowl yourself into the top 50 to make that elite field for next year. It didn't happen. So where do you go now based on this year's experience?
That's a good question. I would say now I'll probably just spend the next 2 to 3 weeks assessing what has happened to me over this year and past year and a half or so. Kind of just assess the entire issue. Is this exactly what I want to do? Do I want to try tour trials in June, or do I just want to use this as a springboard to kind of move on with my life? Kind of up in the air.
You're in a unique position because not only are you the player president, but you have some real insight on what issues affect the players. How do you see the direction of the tour affecting the players?
Well, as far as it affecting the players, I mean, we've got about 30 or 40 guys now that are going to have an extremely life-changing episode happen to them, basically. What they're used to for the last 10 or 12 years, myself included, it's like starting all over again. But the direction of the tour itself, I think, is excellent. I thoroughly understand what they're trying to do with the exempt tour. I think it's dynamite. Myself, along with a lot of other players, though, do believe that the number's a little low. Is that subject to change down the road? Unsure. I think that's for the office to decide.
All right, well, thanks very much. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Dave?
All right, Steve, thank you. We see the list of the exempt bowlers for next year, including Brian Himmler, who won earlier this year, but not in the top 50. Leading us to our days in on the road, Randy, Steve Hoskins, perhaps, and others will be going to the PBA Tour Trials Stardust Bowl in Maryville, Indiana, near Chicago, June 1st through the 6th. And there is the breakdown, including the different PBA oil pattern each day. How about Wes Malott from Austin, Texas, who has never bowled on TV, going for his first ever title. First, he's got to get through Mika Koivuniemi, who certainly is the favorite for Player of the Year honors. And the winner of this match takes on Tom Baker for the World Championship and a chance to etch his name forever in history. Drama, pressure, it all comes up next from Ypsilanti. ESPN's live coverage of the PBA World Championship from the campus of Eastern Michigan University is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly, this is the High Life. By Cambridge Credit Counseling, log on to nodebt.com and find out how good it feels to be debt-free. And by Bayer Aspirin, take it for pain, take it for life. There is EMU's University Park, and we are at the Convocation Center in Ypsilanti. Let's find out how the two other semifinalists, Wes Malott and Mika Koivuniemi, got this far. The round of Super 16 saw Wes Malott facing off against Tommy Jones. Malott would move on, beating Jones 3-1. And on to the round of 8, Malott took on bowling superstar Walter Ray Williams Jr. Wes would upset Walter Ray and surprise the crowd by shutting him out 3-0. And the Big Fin Mika Koivuniemi got off to a good start in the round of Super 16 by beating Richard Wolf 3-1, taking care of yet another left-hander. And moving on to the round of 8, Mika would take on Norm Duke. As we saw from all the round of 8 matches last night, he shut him out 3-0. Wes and Mika joined now by Holly Laneside.
Top 8 in points coming into this tournament. He had to bowl all week. You've bowled 47 games to get to this point. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
Well, last year I would say it was probably a disadvantage. This year the lanes are playing very similar, so I just got to take that and make good shots, have fun, and go out. I mean, I know Mika has a great fan base here, but it sounds like I got some of my own. So let's go, guys. Let's have fun.
And speaking of which, Mika, what kind of an advantage is it for you to be bowling just 3 miles away from your own home?
I think the biggest advantage, I can be home every night, sleep my own bed, and get relaxed.
Any pressure not to let this big fan section down?
No, it's on my side. It helps me.
Congratulations. Good luck.
20 tickets requested by Mika Koivuniemi for family and friends from the Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area. A couple weeks down the road, Mika's going to be moving to a new house with a pool. His daughter's very excited about. First Wes Malott, first ever TV ball comes here. What a time for it at the PBA World Championship.
Baby, yes! Let's go! Come on!
Well, it's no secret on our tour that this guy can bowl, even if you've never seen or heard of him. He won the Regional Players Championship, and everybody on the tour knows about Big Wes Malott.
With that loft. 60 feet to success. Mika Koivuniemi also off to a great start, leading us to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
And don't let this stat fool you. 6 pins a game higher on average, but he pulled 40 less games than Wes Malott. Wes Malott took care of the likes of Ray Williams Jr. in 3 straight games, but Mika really digs this match play stuff.
Tremendous year for the Big Fin. 7 TV shows.
Hello! Oh!
A scout all the way across the deck, and somehow number 10 didn't go down.
It got hit twice and didn't go. You see this? Mika's certainly right of the spot. And then something rolls over and hits it again. But this is brand new wood. You got to do more than just tap it.
Born in Finland, now lives in Ann Arbor. Powerful Mika Koivuniemi trying to make his case for Player of the Year, be his first ever such honor, succeeding Walter A. Williams Jr. And his 6th last year. Wes Malott doesn't want to talk about Player of the Year. Just wants to talk about winning a TV match. Very soft-spoken with us last night in interviewing Wes, and humble about making his first appearance on television.
Gets off to a fast start, and he did all week long, and he needs to do that against Mika. Here it comes. Oh!
Wasn't a turn. Almost.
That pin will have to be respotted. That rack comes down too quick. Once the rack hits the pin, that pin has to stay up. Here it comes. Oh, and then the machine hits it. One time, come on. All right. The spare here, we're all even. No blood yet.
Single pin conversion numbers excellent for the 27-year-old, 6'4". From Austin, Texas. Wife Meredith, little baby Jordan Wesley back home are watching closely. We'll get some lane adjustments. Jordan Wesley's 6 months old. Won't understand much about Dad's first bowling appearance until he gets a chance to watch the tape later on.
That's the beauty of videotape.
All right. Not bothered by the slight delay. 14-3 match play record at 223.53 average, and he took out 2 Hall of Famers en route.
David Ozu gave him a little bit of grief, but really was unchallenged in match play this week. And how often does Mika look at his opponent on television eye to eye? You've got 2 guys that stand about 6'4", 6'5" apiece.
Come on, baby. Oh, don't do that. Come on.
Gets a little help on number 7. Great lane level look from our crew.
This is why you put revs and rotation on a bowling ball. That's to carry those off hits. Although this guy does it with pure speed and roll.
Back to Mika. He talks to that ball in any language. English, Finnish, what have you. 10 more down from Mika Koivuniemi, who is, with his 7 shows, most on tour at this moment, a favorite to win the Player of the Year race. We'll break it down for you. Those 4 finalists give you the strong points later on in our broadcast today. You be the judge. It's been a long time, some 14 years since a foreign-born bowler has won the Player of the Year honor. Mika got a great chance at it this year.
Too far right. Too far to the right. Lanes are real slick from out there, and I'm really surprised he struck on the right lane because he's getting everything right of that spot down the lane. Right of the 10th board, 9th board is trouble.
Because he was in the round of Super 16, top 8 points, didn't have to bowl that much, but has not picked up any yet. And look out right between the 8-10 and leaves 2 up. Pin count, that's a disaster. And an open frame for Mika on the 4th frame effort for him. So Mika with a home lane advantage here, being just a few miles, as Holly mentioned, from his Ann Arbor house. Wes Malott coming from Austin. His wife unable to make it after he won late last night. Couldn't get a flight here. He'll try again.
Well, we've got a lot of fans here in the arena, and somebody said something in his backswing, and Wes did the smart thing by pulling that big arm swing down.
Big crowd here at EMU. They have been emotional. Get Big Wes focus again.
Come on, baby. Come on. Yes! Yes! Come on!
The answer is yes. Lots of tennis coming away. The Pacific Life Open, Indian Wells, California, concluding on ESPN 2. Lindsay Davenport against Justine Hardin meeting in the women's final. She's won the last 2 majors, has Hardin. 3 o'clock Eastern time. Roger Federer, the Wimbledon champ, takes on Tim Henman and Craig Britton in the men's final at 5 Eastern. Pacific Life Open on ESPN 2 and ESPN starting at 3 Eastern.
Needing to win one more match to make the telecast, he takes on Walter Ray Williams Jr. First game, he shoots 290 at him.
Yes, baby! Come on!
Nerves of steel, Dave Ryan?
Yes!
Does not appear bothered, Randy, by the pressure one bit.
Watch this ball. It's going to slap the pin silly. Nothing but shrapnel left after that. And a commanding 34-pin lead on hometown favorite Mika Koivuniemi.
Can Mika here in the 5th rebound from the Open. Malott's thrown 3 in a row. That's how you do it.
Last night we asked Mika Koivuniemi, how do you say world champion in Finnish? His response, Mika Koivuniemi. And it's just
family is here. Ida and Ida.
What a wonderful family. Just the nicest people you'll ever meet, unless you're going head-to-head with Mika on the lanes.
His wife's name is Lena. Daughter Ida's 10 years old, and little Lydia is 3. I would like to see that. Mika Koivuniemi trying to use the hometown advantage to make history and win the PBA World Championship. But Malott in his first show stands in his way. The new Nike ad campaign features athletes competing and excelling in sports other than their own. Pitcher Randy Johnson got his chance to experience the pressure of the PBA as he took on Pete Weber in Nike's version of the World Championship.
I started helping him a little bit, starting to get him to hold the ball right, maybe getting a little spin on the ball. And he's gotten a little better as we've gone on, but just like any other newcomer to the sport, he needs a little practice at it.
After hoisting the trophy, the big unit was off to spring training in his real sport, baseball. Randy Johnson fans are here at Eastern Michigan. Very entertaining commercial. They got it right, didn't they?
That's awesome. That is some good stuff. Andre Agassi hitting that single to left center, and all kinds of athletes from different walks of sports doing different stuff. But Randy Johnson, some hook he's got there, huh? How did he do that?
Back to Wes Malott now. Folks, an amazing story developing here. Never been on TV before. Going for a first ever TV victory and thinking about a world championship at the same time. Expires a bit there. 2-pin stands, avoids a split.
Some breathing room now for Mika Koivuniemi as Wes Malott with a spare here will maintain a 23-pin lead.
Covers nicely. Mika now can try to take advantage, working on a double. Special thanks to Leona and Ted Dobbins, Taylor Lane proprietors, Daughter Erin as well on the right, who helps run their center. We know Tom Baker loves bowling there, and all the PBA players really consider that a second home.
The players love Taylor Lanes and the Dobbins family. I mean, we can't say enough about how they go out of their way for the players and take care of us. It's just a phenomenal week for us, and we look forward to not only coming back to Detroit and bowling in front of the great fans of Detroit, but also the Dobbins family as well.
10-pin for Big Wes.
This is a major league ringing 10 here where the 6 goes up and around the 10-pin. And again, Mika's sitting over there going, okay, well, this guy decided not to put me away even though I opened in the 4th frame. Mika with 2 strikes in the 7th and the 8th can close to within 2 pins in this match.
Good look to see how far left. Malott approaches how many boards he's moved. As he takes care of the mark. Telling himself it is okay. Back-to-back spares, but Mika now working on a double 7th frame. And folks, this is it. Big part of the match. Down 22 pins. But because he works on the double, a chance to make up some serious ground right now. Is he the player of the year? That honor goes to big moments. Converting at the right time, like this one. 10-pin.
Well, what's good for one is good for the other. In bowling, bad carry doesn't discriminate. Doesn't matter if you're left-handed, right-handed, throw it straight or hook it. And he just left the exact same thing that Wes Malott left in the same frame. He made the shot, and unfortunately, that's all we can do in our sport. You can't control pin carry.
Takes care of the 10-pin. We talked about 7 TV shows, and if you ask Mika who the player of the year should be, he says Mika Koivuniemi without question. He thinks he deserves it. 2 titles and a chance to overtake Brad Angelo for the points, the average leader as well, and comparing year to year, it's been breakout would be an understatement.
He made 43,000 last year, Dave. This year he's made more shows in 1 year than he's made in his entire career. 150,000 plus more in earnings. And in my opinion, he's done everything it takes to earn him the Player of the Year award without winning today.
We'll break down Player of the Year award. Coming up. Later on our show. 10 down. Mika Koivuniemi. Trying to keep things close. Still down 23 pins.
Those eyes never leaving the target. That same stoic look we're used to seeing. He gets that nice, and he's motioning to that 6-pin going to the wall and taking that 10 out. And that's what he wanted the frame before.
Wes Malott competed in 7 tournaments last year. First full year on tour this season. Didn't like it at all. Turns away from the ball. Double wood. 2-8. Did not think it had a chance to strike upon the release.
Real lucky that he doesn't leave the 2-8-10. He knew immediately when he let go of it that it was headed for possible disaster. Only leaving the 2-8, huge break, especially this juncture in the match.
He told us last night he would be cool, calm, and collected in big moments like this.
Yes. Missed it.
And he knew he missed it. He turned away. And the 8 stays up for Wes Malott. What a break for Mika Koivuniemi on the bench.
And right now, we have a possibility of a tie. If Wes Malott strikes out in the 9th and 10th frame, he shoots 225. Mika working on a strike in the 8th. If he strikes out, he shoots 225. The winner that advances to bowl for the title against Tom Baker will be the player that decides they want it more than the other guy, and they perform in the 9th and 10th frame.
Unbelievable break for Koivuniemi. 8th frame open for Malott. Mika open in the 4th. Big Wes.
Yeah!
Big
Come on!
bounce back.
Get back in.
Huge recovery, especially after the devastating open frame. He pures this shot. It's amazing for a guy that's only been on tour for 1 full year to have this type of composure with so much riding on the line.
Major Mika, the man has won 2 major championships. 2000 ABC Masters, US Open in 01. With a chance. Breakdown for you.
The big fin with the big-time messenger. Knowing that if he strikes out in the 9th and 10th frame, he can't lose. He can only tie. The headpin, sidewall, here it comes. Get out of my face!
And the crowd supporting Mika. So many from the Ann Arbor area, 3 miles from his home. That's where we are at the Eastern Michigan University campus. They love it. Packed house at the Convocation Center. Another huge shot. He wants to make the final. He's closer. The Finnish flag is flying strong for Mika Koivuniemi, a native of Tampere, Finland, who has moved to Ann Arbor. He has a huge rooting section here at the MU Convocation Center in Ypsilanti. It's the season-ending PBA World Championship. Live coverage on ESPN. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Holly Rowe laneside. Our entire crew now up by 10. Moments ago, he was down 34 halfway through this match. The late open from Malott in the 8th frame, a killer.
Awesome!
For Mika Koivuniemi, Player of the Year riding on the line. The World Championship title, $120,000, and he carries another messenger.
Talk about dramatic.
He's done it all this year, 300 on television. He's 1 strike away from forcing Wes Malott to strike out. Pretty tall order for a guy like Wes Malott, who's made television only once, and that's today.
5 straight strikes. An opportunity now for that.
Can't lose now. He cannot lose.
Waste of time. Twice carries a scout across the deck to take out the 10-pin. Malott needs 3 strikes to tie. Nothing else will be enough. That includes the open frame since his good start.
Same shot, wide right, and that's the end of Wes Malott. But what a great performance for him, his first time on national television in our sport's biggest stage.
They're chanting Mika, Mika here at Eastern Michigan University.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mika.
We now have our finalists. That man, the big Finn, Mika Koivuniemi, bidding for a 3rd major of his career. Against Tom Baker, it's all coming your way. Welcome back to the PBA World Championship. Our house band, Exit Club, has the EMU campus and the Convocation Center rocking. Let's take a look back at some great rolling as we recap the PBA system and their season and this year's Miller Milestone. In our season opener in Omaha, Nebraska, Powerball Robert Smith rolled over the competition by beating Mike Machuga for the crown. The next week in Kansas City, Norm Duke converted a huge washout in the 10th frame and was a winner over Mika Koivuniemi. In Vernon Hills, Illinois, Mika was a bridesmaid again.
Baby. Yeah!
Brian Himmler blew him out for the Miller High Life title. Jason Couch became the first left-hander to win this season in Grand Rapids, Michigan, converting a spare in the 10th to beat Steve Wilson.
Great going, man.
In Toledo, Chris Johnson needed a mark in the 10th to win his first career title in his first ever show, but couldn't convert. Steve Jarrett took advantage. Philadelphia belonged to Patrick Allen. Lefty outlasted Danny Weiss with a clinching exemption. A thriller in Latham, New York, near Albany, came down to the 10th frame. Chris Barnes missed the chance to shut out Ryan Schaefer, who came back to earn the victory. Schaefer was back on TV the following week in Long Island, but Patrick Healy Jr. denied him back-to-back wins and earned his first title of the season. History has made it a snowy day in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Mika Koivuniemi became the 16th Vanderbilt perfect 300 game on TV and went on to roar Patrick Allen for the championship. The Tournament of Champions, the first major of the year, was a classic. Patrick Healy Jr. defeated our very own Randy Peterson for $100,000 and a 2-year exemption. The second half of the year started in Seattle, where a familiar face, Walter Ray Williams Jr., struck in the 10th to force Lonnie Walchek to mark in the 10th to win. Incredibly, Lonnie didn't. Walter Ray a winner. In Medford, Oregon, we saw one of the greatest PBA finals in history, Conor and Pete Weber throwing the first 8 strikes of the match. Duluth Jr. needed a strikeout in the 10th. He didn't, and Pete took home his 30th title. On the Reno, Nevada, where Walter Ray Williams Jr. struck the first 6 frames to open up a 34-pin lead over Chris Barnes. He'd go on to win his first ABC Masters title and a 2-year exemption. The next week, Brad Angelo left 2 crucial splits in the title match. While Mika Koivuniemi threw strikes from the 5th frame on, Mika crushed Angelo by almost 80 pins. The U.S. Open was a battle of 2 Hall of Famers, Brian Voss and Pete Weber. After Voss left an open frame in the 7th, Weber would go on to win his 31st career title and an important 3-year tour exemption. Needing a double in the 10th frame, Robert Smith threw 2 perfect shots en route to winning his 6th career title in Tucson, Arizona. He beat Walter Ray Williams for his 2nd title of the year. Also picking up his 2nd title of the year was Steve Jarrett in Dallas. He'd end the game with 8 straight strikes against Dave Traber. Jarrett became the 6th player with multiple wins this year. The next week, Mike Scroggins would beat Walter Ray Williams Jr., ending a 12-year winless drought. After starting the game with 2 spares in the first 3 frames, Scroggins threw 9 straight strikes for the title. And finally, in Indianapolis, Steve Jarrett found himself back in the winner's circle again, winning his 3rd title of the season over Dave DeAntremont. Jarrett, who only had 3 career victories before this year, leads the PBA with 3 titles. This week's Miller High Life milestones. 4 times in his career, Tom Baker has made the semifinals of a major, but never the finals. Mika has 2 major championships. Who wins one today? We'll find out. Yesterday here in Ypsilanti, Jeff Crawford of Jeffersonville, Indiana, won a chance to strike it rich for $50,000, courtesy of Jackson Hewitt Tax Services, with the help of PBA pros Tim Chris and Danny Wiseman. Jeff needed 3 consecutive strikes to claim the top prize. He missed with his first 2 shots, but was flush on his last attempt and walked away with $5,000 and some great memories from the PBA World Championship here in Ypsilanti. One big theme of our broadcast today: who will win the PBA Player of the Year honor? Holly Rowe is joined by 2 candidates in Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Steve Jarrett.
Well, Dave, you're right. This has been one of the closest Player of the Year races in recent memory. And Steve, let's start with you first. Steve Jarrett, make your case to the people who may be watching who still have a vote. Why do you deserve to be Player of the Year?
Well, I got to say, you know, back in October, if you would have asked 100 people who their top 5 picks for Player of the Year would have been, I don't think my name would have come up in any of them. So I think the fact that I'm sitting up here on the stage with you right now really says a statement over the fact of how I've gotten into my game and how I've elevated the level of my competition. And, you know, with 3 titles in a year, in the past I might have a really good chance to win, but you know, there's a lot of competitors out there, and this is one of the closest races we've had in a while. So, you know, we'll kind of see how it pans out. Either way, it's been a great year.
All right, and Walter Ray, you are the reigning player of the year. Who do you think deserves it this year?
Well, I'm really close, but with Mika out there bowling for the title this week, I think if he wins, he pretty much locks it up. If he doesn't, I think it's really close between him, myself, maybe Pete, and maybe Steve. So I think it's a player preferences. Everybody looks at the stats a little differently, and I think I definitely had a great year. A little slow start, kind of like Steve did, but great second half, a couple of big wins and a couple of close ones. And if Malott would have bowled like that against me last night, I might have been here today, but he didn't do that. He threw some strikes against me.
And then you would have been series contender for Player of the Year, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks very much, gentlemen. We appreciate your input. And Dave, let's get back to you.
Both those bowlers in the round of 8, Holly, but unable like Tom Baker did, who has not won in 123 events to come this far. Can he make history today? We find out. At the 2002 PBA World Championships, Doug Kent took home the largest PBA first place check of $120,000 after beating Ronnie Wallachek in the championship match. Wallachek would only strike once the entire match. The following year, Walter Ray Williams Jr. wrapped up a fantastic season with his 3rd win and 2nd major of that year. A $120,000 check pushed his season total to a PBA record over $400,000. It's the 66th time the PBA Tour has paid a visit to the great state of Michigan. We're coming here for the Convocation Center, the EMU campus. We're moments away from Mika, Koivuniemi, and Tom Baker, the finals of the World Championship. Tonight, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN has a potential playoff preview. Yao Ming, Steve Francis lead the Rockets against Chris Webber and the Sacramento Kings. Rockets Kings also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today. 7:30 Eastern. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Right, let's check in with the Geico Direct World Championship recap. How did we get to this point? Baker or Koivuniemi?
In our first match, it was Tom Baker defeating roommate Brad Angelo by the score 277-243. Baker, 10 out of the last 12 strikes, takes out his tour buddy and roommate. And in semifinal number 2, it was Mika Koivuniemi defeating Wes Malott by the score 225-193. Mika's 2 messengers late, sending a message to Tom Baker. It's go time, setting up a great matchup for this 2004 PBA World Championship.
That's our Geico Direct World Championship recap. These 2 finalists have never met on TV before, so the stage is set. Holly Rowe, lane level with Tom Baker, Mika Koivuniemi.
Well, Tom, coming into this week, you found yourself outside of the elite field for next year. How do you feel now bowling for a World Championship?
Don't wake me up yet. Okay, we got one more game to finish. Then I'll let you know.
Still in a dream. Okay, and for you, Mika, you were having a little bit of a nightmare in that last match. You were able to finish strong. How do you keep that momentum?
I try to make a good shot, one on time, and try to stay with Tom.
All right, good luck, guys.
Can Major Mika win his 3rd major championship, or is it time for the first ever for Tom Baker? What is on the line today? $120,000. 438 total purse. That was the season high purse available beginning our event. 5-year exemption goes to the winner. Great start in the semifinal match for each. Now, folks, it's the championship match. Our season-ending event gets underway right now. 10-pin.
Bake's had some time to sit and watch what Mika did, and be interesting to see what his ball reaction looks like a game later. You know what this guy's going to do. He's going to be piping the high hard one right around the 2nd arrow and throwing pins around.
Real contrast in style and release point. Tom Baker well behind the foul line, as you saw there. Great look from our lane level there. Thank you very much to everyone. The PBA Tour, Chris Peters, Steve Miller, our Commissioner Fred Schreier as well. Great job they've done resurrecting our tour and directing us into the future. End of an era, by the way, we should mention, for the PBA here today. The all-exempt field, 64 bowlers strong. Next year, Halloween, the opener in 2004. Right now we finished this great season. And Mika, a 2-pin.
Well, take a look at this, and this is wide right. And very fortunate, only leaves a 2-pin. That's the difference between the guys that are on TV today and the guys that were losing matches, didn't make through qualifying. When we missed that far to the right, we left the 2-8-10, 2-4-8-10. Mika, West Malott, you saw in the match earlier. When they went light, 2-8 or 2-pin.
For the final time this year, Randy, our Baby Ruth real matchup, Koivuniemi and Baker.
Big disparity right here, 12 pins a game, higher average for Mika, but just like last year when we had Walter Ray and Brian Kretzer, 51 games for Bakes, only 8 for Koivuniemi. And Koivuniemi has major experience, that's why his nickname is Major Mika.
Big crowd behind him. Koivuniemi strikes.
That ball well left of the shot before, and here's the difference. Watch it now. There's a rangefinder, about the 8th board down the lane. On the right lane, he was around the 6th board.
Harrisburg Open. May 31st of '97, the last PBA Tour title for Tom Baker. Knocked off Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the final that day. Here, Mika Koivuniemi stands in his way. 123 events between potential victories for Baker. And as we mentioned, an incredible story of overcoming drama. Amazing pressure for Tom Baker. Came in 67th, and after that first match, win 33rd on tour, and he is exempt. He told us yesterday he wasn't quite sure what he was going to do because bowling is his life. 28 years on tour. Tough to change your career path that late.
Tommy and I were going to start our own pool cleaning business back in South Florida. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, double points this week, and again, we've talked about it throughout the telecast. What an unbelievable performance, especially from a guy who's a 28-year veteran and 49 years of age.
As he mentioned Holly Lane Level in the interview before this match, it's like a dream for him. And that was his input to us last night in interviewing him. He just couldn't believe how far he's come.
And take a look from down low. That ball is dead perfect.
Mika's no stranger to winning, no stranger to TV. But he's never competed in an arena setting until now.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, that really had a hurry and did not. Wow. Watch out.
Well, the only good news, if there is any, is that he's on a strike, and if he can convert this washout, he won't lose any pins in count.
1, 2, 4, 6, 10 still up for Mika here. They're the multi-pin conversion numbers so far for him this week. Remember, he's only competed in a couple of matches because he made that round of Super 16 by being in the top 8 points. Can he convert?
Too far right, the hairpin comes back off the side wall and throws the 4-pin forward into the 2. Are you kidding?
You get the feeling things might just be meant to be for Mika Koivuniemi, who twice had the messenger across the deck for the 10-pin against West Malott in that semi-final to emerge from what looked like certain defeat for a victory. Is everything going the big pin's way? Nothing left it out there. When we return to Ypsilanti, we will crown a champion, the ultimate king of the lanes, the World Championship winner revealed when we return. As we told you earlier in the broadcast, Brad Angelo, seen with his wife, best friends with PBA road roommate Tom Baker, both from Buffalo. He's rooting on his buddy, and they respond to the kiss camera as well. We are set now for our final. Those two are really happy to be together, leading us to the Universal Tire Rock and Roll.
Mika working his magic, attempting to convert the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Head pin goes to the sidewall, comes back out, knocks the 4 backwards into the 2. He is amazing.
Western New York is indeed well represented, including our own Joe Ciccone. Angelo Baker. Roommates and best buddies. Now Brad is watching this unlikely story unfold with Tom Baker. Fourth frame. Down the pitch for him.
The PBA announced this week the induction of 2 new members into the PBA Hall of Fame. Matt Fiorito of the Detroit Free Press and Mort Luby Jr., former publisher of the Bowlers Journal International. Congratulations to both of these sports journalists on their inductions.
Tom Baker inducted 1999. This would be a major accolade on his bowling resume. Chance to win a first ever major. He's accomplished already so much this week. Can he take it all the way? One step further. Shots like that. Yes, he can.
You see what Mika's playing or where he's playing the first match. You see that ball? He's getting that ball to bite. This is earlier in this match. Just a pinch right, and it goes from getting 10 to getting 5. And it appears that Mika's now struggling, has lost his look on the right lane.
Down 30 now, working on a strike. That's way high. On that right lane, more struggles.
And sure enough, to compensate for missing too far right, he misses too far left and leaves the hardest non-split or washout spare that we face on the PBA Tour. 3-6-9-10 for righties. And for lefties, let's see, how do I, it's the 2-4-7-9. The ball's got to get over in here, or the 2-4-7-8 right. Get in here. The problem is the back pin, the 9 pin. The ball's got to carry that, the 6-10, or the ball will drive the 6 into the 10. If you get it too far to the right, it hangs. Too far left, it overhooks and you chop it.
Takes care of the spare nicely. Today, the Pacific Life Open concludes on ESPN2. Lindsay Davenport against Justine Henin-Hardin. Last 2 majors she's won in the ATP final has Federer Hendon. That's 3 and 5 o'clock on ESPN2. Pacific Life Open from Indian Wells, California. That's all coming your way. First, we finish business here in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Season concluding event. Baker has struck 4 straight times. 6th frame, Mika Koivuniemi. Helping it on number 10.
The old tomahawk 10, not the messenger. The 6-pin goes to the sidewall, leans on it. Watch this, 6-pin sidewall. Little nudge. And Mika is clean through 6 frames, going at a 2:00 pace. Needs to desperately figure out the right lane because Tom Baker is dialed in.
Wow. Another perfect shot. 60 feet to success for Tom Baker. Convocation Center, Ypsilanti. A packed house today for the season-ending PBA World Championship here on ESPN. Ryan Randy Peterson. Holly Rowe, lane level. Best Bluffs, the best of the World Series of Poker coming up next year on ESPN. Right now, Baker, 5-bagger, has got a 40-pin lead.
Look at that poker face.
He's dialed in, looking to expand the lead more, does so. And his roommate on the road. Brad Angelo loves every moment of it.
49-year-old Tommy Baker taking it to the big fin with shots like this, spare, and then 6 shots in a row. Look at that reaction. He knows he's inching closer and closer to his first major title, a title that will carry him for 5 years on this tour to the end of his career. 28-year career on the tour to this point. We talked to him last night, Dave. He told us if he were to win that 5-year exemption, at the end of it, he would retire.
Big Fed.
Mika needs something in a hurry. When was the first time Tom Baker was ever on TV? Folks, 1976. He's been around a long time. 728 career events. No majors. 9 titles for the Hall of Famer. He's now 8-8 over his last 10 TV appearances combined, the match play record. An incredible career. But what an exclamation point opportunity for him.
And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's won the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award out on tour twice. He's truly one of the good guys. And for everything that this week meant to him to get this far and to possibly go on and win, it's just an unbelievable story.
He goes to 3 in a row. Shreds the rack. A big shot, applying some pressure for the big fin.
Mika not going away quietly. It's going to make Tom Baker work for it. This ball is perfect. If Mika were to strike out, he would shoot 250. Tom Baker is right now in the 240s.
Bidding for 7 in a row. Only 6 count.
Tommy Baker had a little bit of problem there with the approach. Watch this. Watch this little hop. Look at that. He lost leverage, didn't have his balance. And when you lose leverage, you don't get quite the amount of hand and revolutions in the ball. That's why that ball came up light, leaving the bucket.
8th frame, needs to convert. Does so.
Beautifully done. Right now, Tommy Baker going 246 pace. Mika Koivuniemi, he can strike out for 250.
All right, Bakes, come on.
Bakes needs a strike here and a second strike in the 10th frame and count to win, no matter what Mika does. Big shot right here.
Best of the World Series of Poker is coming up next. First, we declare a champion. Will it be Tom Baker? Foundation frame time.
Good shot, good shot, good shot, good shot.
10 down the pit for Tom Baker.
Talked about it all year long. When a player lets go of it, you can feel it immediately out of your hand. Listen to what Tommy Baker says right here when he lets go of it.
Good shot, good shot.
He knew it as soon as he let go of it. Good shot, good shot, good shot.
It's hard to grasp, folks, what an unbelievable story this is. Last night, Tom couldn't believe he had gotten this far. And now he's on the verge of the World Championship, his first ever major. Unbelievable. That's high.
High flush, but it wasn't pitch high. Wow. Now he's going to go to his good lane. 3 in the 10th will force Tommy Baker to strike on the first ball in the 10th frame and get good count. If Mika does not strike on this ball, this match is over.
What's on the line? $120,000 from our tour high $438,000 purse and the 5-year exemption for a man, folks, who didn't think he'd have a job at the start of this week. He's exempt. Maybe he's a world champion too. He needs it. Mika gets it. 5-bagger Mika Koivuniemi.
He did the same thing in the previous match against Wes Malott. And right now, with another strike, Mika will make Tommy Baker show up in the 10th frame. Taking a re-rack, gathering himself, making sure that everything is perfect. The last 5 in a row. Tommy Baker, though, still in control of his own destiny, no matter what Mika does with this ball here. Just about as good as you could possibly throw it. A vicious ring and 10. And right now, Tommy Baker needs a mark and count in the 10th frame. Take a look at this. Watch how fast the 6-pin goes around that 10-pin. He thought it was perfect. Watch this reaction.
Off his hand, it looked to be completely flush. As if he had cured it. Instead, it's a mark. A 239 score for the Big Fin, Mika Koivuniemi. Now it's a mark and count for Tom Baker to make history. That's all he needs. Seven-pin lead.
A pocket 7-10, and that would have been the end of Tom Baker today. Wow.
Can you believe what he avoided by a fraction? Mika's wife on the left, Brad Angelo, Tom Baker's roommate, Michelle Angelo. Can't believe the pressure.
Needs to convert this spare.
Gotta have a 7. Does it! Four pins, that's all he needs now. And he'll be a world champion.
I've been on tour for 23 years. This is probably the most amazing story I've ever witnessed and ever seen.
Yes! Yes! Oh my God! Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, congratulations, man! 5 years, man!
Tom Baker is not only exempt.
Are you kidding me?
Not only is he a job for next year, folks, he is a world champion. His first major comes from Ypsilanti. Incredible.
Unbelievable. Hey, cool, Daddy, got to get some chin-ups going.
ESPN's live coverage of the PBA World Championship from the campus of Eastern Michigan University is brought to you by Odor Eaters. Absorb sweat and destroys odor on contact with new Zorbatex technology. By Geico, a 15-minute phone call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Cambridge Credit Counseling. Log on to nodat.com and find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
We are here with the world champion, Tom Baker. Tom, after 28 years on tour, your first major, how did you do it today?
I don't know. I just want to say this is the highlight of my career, obviously. You know, at the beginning of this week, I said just give yourself a chance and just take it one frame at a time, one game at a time. And here we are 50-some games later, and I'm still thinking that way until I got that last ball. I can't put anything into words to describe this victory for me. I mean, it's been a rough go all year, and I'm ready to cry, and I don't know what to tell you.
How about congratulations to you, a 5-year exemption, $120,000, and you are the world champion. Dave?
Tom Baker is the oldest player in PBA history to win a major at 49 years old. Congratulations to him. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Coming up next on ESPN, the best bluffs of the 2003 World Series of Poker. Now for the entire crew, Randy Peterson, Holly Rowe, and Dave Ryan, saying thanks so much for joining us on the PBA Tour all year long. We'll see you Halloween 2004 for next year's opener. What a moment. Tom Baker, a world champion today.